I want my debt to be able to be making more money and freeing up capital versus taking capital. The big question is what is true happiness? So what provides that true happiness?
You probably want to lean a little closer. You're in charge. You're in charge now.
Okay. Does that sound better for you?
I like it.
Okay. And so is the full edits going to be on the podcast too, or
yeah, it'll be edited? But I hope she leaves a little bit of this because it's pretty funny.
My favorite. I mean, quite honestly, my favorite part about a podcast is the outtakes, or like just the true nature of human beings. It doesn't always have to be scripted and everything. Life is not scripted.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So true happiness.
True happiness.
Hey girl, you're listening to The Samantha Parker Show, an unhinged and insider look at the girl boss lifestyle. I'm like the best friend in your earbuds that you didn't know you've been craving. It's conversations from the girls' bathroom that are going to make you smile, inspire the hell out of you, and hype you up. You are not as crazy as you think. Life is a wild ride, and girl, I invented the roller coaster. So grab your favorite beverage and let's be unhinged together. So welcome to the show. Anyways, Kody, welcome to the Samantha Parker Show.
Well, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Did you know I have my own show?
I heard about it, yeah.
You heard about the show? Uh-huh. I mean, a couple hundred people listen to it. It's super popular.
I mean, I've always known you had your own show that you always put on, but now you're recording it.
I am a show. Spotify reached out to me for a $12 million deal. They said that I'm going to be bigger than Joe Rogan. You can be my co-host. What do you think?
I love it.
We're just making shit up now.
Exactly.
Okay, well, Kody, welcome to the podcast. I wish I had a song for you. Well, we actually do have cool music that cuts in here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all after the fact. Then,
yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. You'll make me look good, sound good.
I make no promises.
Okay.
Okay. So, Kody, why are you on the podcast today? What is it that you do?
So, in short terms, entrepreneurship. What that means is finding something that really resonates with yourself to grow yourself in a more positive nature, to provide a better society for all.
To provide a better society for all. How do you envision that?
I envision, the big question is what is true happiness? So what provides that true happiness?
That feels pretty like la da 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 da.
Everyone finds it differently. Some people find it's not true happiness. Some people think they find true happiness through alternative ways versus true happiness is within the internal self.
Okay.
And finding that is really something that everyone should be on a journey to find because it really resonates differently with everyone.
So do we find that through wealth?
I mean, wealth has a point to understanding but providing a path, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot that comes down to what wealth can do for an individual. Some people, it harms people. You see a lot of people who go from poor to riches and their families fall apart. You see divorce happening. You see, all kinds of different troubles happening, but there's a point to understanding what wealth is to alleviate certain stresses, because we all have stresses. We all have bills. We all have taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't done my taxes yet.
Please tell me you delayed.
Of course.
Okay.
I got a girl for this.
Okay. I was like, sorry. Please tell me you're not going to have the IRS knocking on the door in the middle of our freaking podcast.
Not. So sometimes wealth is bad for people.
Yes, it can be bad. So understanding what healthy wealth, and so that's where the point of health and wealth come in, because there's a point in that can be broadened. So we've been on journeys of health nature. I'm sure
we have.
In the health nature of, what did we just complete today?
Okay, so today, you guys, this is a big day. This is a big day for me. I went home and I sat on my bed and there was a little tear that trickled across my face. Yeah. We ran 10K.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we completed a 10K this morning.
We did.
Yeah.
I just did that. I randomly brought it up in a conversation earlier where it didn't belong.
Tell me it was like you were depositing a check at the bank or something.
No, I was with a group of clients and I was like, so I ran like 10K this morning. So I'm like really hungry. And they were like, what?
So you were just trying to flex.
Yeah. I was. were like, are you going to lunch with us? I was like, no.
Well, I mean, at least you flexed.
I flexed.
But understanding there's a piece to that. If you see the two-edged sword, understanding where a healthy understanding of being wealthy, everyone wants to have that desire, but there's also a piece of having yourself wealthy, not wealthy, but healthy. And being on that journey. It doesn't mean you need a six-pack. It doesn't mean you need to have, shredded body and spend 50 hours at the gym every week.
I don't have to be the bro on Instagram doing cold plunge. I love cold plunging though lately for my legs.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you'll get there, but
maybe I'll turn into a dude.
That's not what I'm saying. But
sorry, I don't know. I'm in a mood.
It's all right. Let the conversation flow. But having that understanding and following your intuitions so that you can gain those or achieve those goals. Where it comes down to it is a lot of goal setting, and whether it be in the health state with fitness, with your diet, with all kinds of other things, along with understanding what money does, how money works in your life, and making sure money's working for you and not against you.
So do you think there's actually a direct connection between, how good you feel in your body? And again, we're not talking about, I'm not saying you have to go out and lose 50 pounds and you need to be this ideal thing, but is there a connection between like how you feel in your body and how much wealth you occur?
I really do. I really do feel like if you can really center yourself and find that inner, I guess people call it an inner peace, but I think it's different for everyone. But really finding that inner peace and inner happiness so that you can achieve those goals and alleviate those stresses of financial freedom and doing that.
I love that. So how did you kind of get into this journey? Because when I met you, you weren't doing this.
No.
The first time I met you, I was our mutual friend's house, and you just like walked casually through the living room. You were like the roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you look like a totally different person.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. I was actually, it was last night. I texted a picture to Cam. And it was like we were on a outreach or a service mission in Vegas, and we were in her husband's truck, and I didn't recognize myself. Like it was a different human that was sitting in that truck, because it was I didn't realize how fat I was. And not that is a thing, but understanding and finding yourself so that you are happier.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not necessarily that your weight has changed, which it has. I mean, that's like a physical obvious. It's that you really like stepped into who you are. Yeah. And you were like, this is who I am, people.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it feel good?
I think it really does feel good as to, owning yourself, becoming that versus trying to hide in a shell, or even, and a lot of those shells can be put on yourself or could be put on by other like entities like the government. You're behind taxes. You're behind on your taxes.
I'm not behind on my taxes. We always file in October.
Submitted?
We always file in October.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, fine. Yeah. Then that's fine. But just don't let it lapse.
Listen, I've even prepaid. Like, they have my fucking money.
Okay, fine. But there are the looming facts of bills and different things. So there can be those shells that really can cause some of those stresses, and alleviating some of those things, whether they be personal or external, is really providing that outward and pathway out to find that happiness. Yeah.
So I did this just like 2 or 3 months ago. I was like, how much money do we actually have coming in, and where is it going?
Exactly.
So I put it all in a spreadsheet. Have you ever done this?
I
put it all in a spreadsheet, and I was like, here's a budget. And then there are some girls like on TikTok and stuff that meticulously budget. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
And that to me was a little overwhelming. Like, I didn't want to put down I went to Maverick and I bought a $2 Coke, and I was
have
like,
you ever seen those like money books that like on TikTok, the TikTok to tap?
The tic-tac, tickety-tack,
tickety-talk, where they're putting like $50 and $100, and then
in the books.
Yeah, in the books, or like
that's Dave Ramsey thinking.
I'm like, no.
But But it's a really good overview though, where I was like, okay, if we wanted to save this much money, you know, and it's cool because the spreadsheet, like I actually bought it from one of the TikTok girls. It was like $8 and it formulates it all for you, which is a skill that I don't have. Right. I feel like you have that skill, don't you?
I could build it myself.
God damn it. I knew it. I knew it. He's like at home building spreadsheets at 2 a.m.
No, I don't lose sleep over that. No. I would probably do the same thing as you, knowing I could do it, but knowing someone has already done it.
$8.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's cool because you put in your
cheaper
goals,
than a Big Mac.
And then you can go to each month. But the one thing I haven't been good at is I'm not going to go through and go through every single charge that we make. Right. Because that to me, I was going into scarcity mindset. Mm-hmm. I was getting really panicky over how much money my husband had spent at the Maverick. For those of you guys that don't know, it's a popular convenience store.
Yeah, it's a C store.
A C store?
Yeah, C store.
Oh, convenience store. I get it. I was like, I would say it's more like a B+. They got a great bathroom.
In most of them, yes. But I've been in some more popular ones where the bathrooms are not that great.
I know, but that's okay. Yeah. I was actually on an actual journey and I told the lady that was guiding the journey, I was high on mushrooms. And I said, listen, I turned to her and I was like, I don't know why you think you're superior. Everybody shits at Maverick. And I think about it all the time. So anyways, I digress. But I was getting like uptight about everything. And then we were going on a road trip and I just think it's fun to stop and get snacks. I was having a mental breakdown over it because I was going to have to put it in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do a general overview. I'm going to look at where we could do better, where we're not doing great, and I'm going to go from there.
Well, and it comes down to what type of expense is it? Is it a business expense or is it a personal expense? And then you budget as to not how often you go, but how much you spend each month in those departments.
Yes. And so instead of going through, I kind of just see it as an overview and more of like a map. Yeah. But it's okay if I need new brakes and the map goes out of hand. Okay. So this is really cool though. I love that you started running with me.
Well, thanks.
So I have said for a long time, it was like, it's just me versus me out here. And now I'm like, oh, I needed Kody.
Well, look where we're at. What did we ran a 10K today.
Have you ever ran before?
On a treadmill.
But I mean, like, have you been like, I'm a runner?
No.
Me either.
No. And I was never someone who went to the gym avidly. I'd go to the gym just to maybe feel good because I was stressed. But and to me that should have been an answer, like get your shit together and actually like put out some of that energy. But I really appreciate the welcoming that you did provide, even though you were pissed off that you were on level 20 and I just came in. But
I was, but I wasn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was all this dick over here. But also I was like, that's so cool that you're doing that, Kody.
I mean, I pay for it later. I mean, I'm now back taking Tylenol after our runs because I'm like, I got to get ahead of this pain.
Okay. No, this morning at the photo shoot I went to, it was up like 2 giant flights of stairs. And
did you hobble your way up?
Yes. And then I almost sent you a picture when I was coming back down and I was just going to be like just the stairs in my feet with no other context. Because I literally was like 1 stair, 2 stair, 3 stair. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's 2 flights of stairs. I went into the office today getting my day-to-day job, and it was the stairs, and I was like, "This sucks."
Did you take the elevator? You guys have one.
I know. I should have.
You get off on the second floor. I would feel so dumb.
That's why I did it. It was dignity.
Yeah.
I'm only 33.
I bet you came in and you absolutely killed it, though. I know that you almost threw up that first day.
Oh my gosh! Well, that was my own doing. I took drank an energy drink right before because I was like,
yeah. When you
tired.
said that, I was like, that's interesting.
I'm not a morning person. Yeah. I was like, how am I going to do this without some caffeine in me? And no, because it almost all came back up.
Do you take any pre-workout?
No, only when I go to the gym.
Yeah.
So if I go to the gym, I do. But just because I want more of a lift and it gives a little bit more to...
I like pre-workout for the gym.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it is I sweat a ton.
I already do that. So, yeah.
Okay, so you're fine.
That's one of the reasons I wore black, too, because I didn't want to show my sweat, on camera.
Show my sweat on camera. Well, good job, Kody. I don't take pre-workout when I run. I was taking it, and I literally couldn't tell the difference other than my skin would get really flushed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it has the niacin in it. Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not doing anything for me.
Yeah.
This is what I am going to start doing. And I've been doing this last 2 runs is I have those little tiny mini bagels at home. And in the morning, I eat one while I'm driving. Me and Dolly share one. So I'm like, one bite for me, one bite for her. It's a little weird, but
Dolly loves your morning routines now, huh?
yeah, she waits by the door for me. And the days that we're not going, she's
really sad.
Yeah, she's got attitude. But yeah, the bagel has helped a ton.
So the carbs really help. I've heard that with carbs really help runners.
Yeah, that's why they carb load.
Yeah, they carb load before
Allegedly.
a marathon. I'm like, I don't know if I want to get into this whole running gig. I would rather just do our own thing. But
yeah,
I mean, I would agree to. We should need to do that Vegas one. That Vegas one looks fun.
let's do. If there's still spots, why don't we just do it? I gotta check the dates, but yeah, and it was a half marathon.
I think they had a 10K.
They did, but we did 10K today.
Exactly. That's okay.
That's actually not a bad point. We could just see how fast we could run the 10K.
Exactly. Let's let's benchmark it right now and let's just get that piece faster.
That's true. Okay, I think we should sign up for a 10K.
Slow down.
I was just going straight for the half marathon. The half marathon was my initial goal.
Yeah.
And then when I got out running, I realized like how clarifying it was for me.
Yeah.
Like I would cry while I would run. I would
I haven't seen that yet.
No, I'm in a really good spot.
Okay, good.
I was working through some things then.
Yeah.
I would like just seriously like go through all this mental checklist and it totally changed me.
Yeah.
It like running absolutely changed me.
Yeah.
My cousin said to me, he's like, why are you running? And I said, when things are really, really hard, and he's big into mindset too.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I knew it was going to be really, really hard for me. And then I did it. And now I'm like, oh, fuck, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Within reason. Yeah. And that's really where like one of my mentors really talks about dreams and taking into effect of like, okay, we all have dreams, but dream bigger. Because if you can dream bigger, that's where it comes into the understanding of taking that dream and how do you get to that dream. It's not changing your goals or like your practices that fit your wealth. It's change your wealth to fit your goal, your dreams.
Oh, I love that. Change your wealth to fit your dreams.
Yeah.
Dude, that's dope. So this is where my brain likes to fuck with me is you're like, change your wealth to fit your dreams. And I'm like, okay, but how?
Right.
But how?
Write it down.
And then what? Like, I'm just telling you what my brain wants to do. And I know it's not logical, but I'm like, could I get step 1 through 7, please? Could you call up God and be like, so what does this bitch need to do next? Because she'll do it.
Right. A lot of that comes down to, again, I say write it down because every entrepreneur like you and I, we're in completely different industries, but you can quantify that. You can say that this person gives me X amount of dollars. And then that percentage of that dollar goes back into operations.
Oh, I have a spreadsheet for my business too.
Exactly. So you can quantify that. So now you know how to, you say you don't know how, but now it's on a spreadsheet.
Oh, so I do know how.
You do know how. Just, how many customers you can take on with your current
Oh yeah, I know
people.
All those things. When people are like,
Exactly.
can you take on people? And I was like, yeah, because I've got a girl ready to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I always set myself up for success.
So if you've got these dreams and be like, oh, I want to take my whole freaking family to Hawaii this year. That's a dream of mine because of XYZ.
I want to do Christmas in Hawaii. Did you know that's been on my vision board for 7 years?
I did Christmas in Hawaii.
Me. With your family?
Just with my sister.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So I've done, it's actually Christmas in Hawaii is really cool.
I love Hawaii.
Yeah.
I've been a lot, but not as it always like it was my dad taking me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's your dream and your dollar amount is, all right, I've got 4 people in my family and it's going to cost me, I want to treat them all. We're going to sit first class. We know that it's going to be $2,000.
So we haven't done that yet as a family.
Exactly. $2,000 pop. Okay. Now you're, $12,000 in flight fees. And then
great, we broke. No, I'm just kidding.
But you put that dollar amount to that dream, and now you're looking at like, okay, now what do I need to do in my entrepreneur business to achieve that dream? If it's another 3 clients, what does it take to get another 3 clients?
Yeah. Okay. This is stuff I actually do.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's putting like that good feeling to what you're doing in your dream aspect, like your dream board, taking it back to the dream board.
No, I like this because it's even more specific than that and breaking it down.
Yeah. So you take that dream and then you build it down from the dream.
Okay. I love this. And It's funny because I think I've heard this, but I've heard this before. I've applied it myself in different ways, but now I'm like, you just made it really simple.
Yeah.
People make it so complicated.
Yeah.
They're like, and then go home and heal all of your childhood wounds. And I'm like crying in the corner.
I can't do it.
I'm like, I can't do it anymore because my mom said I suck.
Exactly.
Which my mom has never said.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all.
Okay, so what are some of your financial goals right now? And could you flow the chart that for us?
Yeah. So my one dream right now is to be out of debt. And with what I have in my I call it my entrepreneur pipeline, doing what I do, especially in the financial industry, I have what I need in my pipeline to achieve that financial freedom is what I call it. So my first step is the financial freedom. My dream above that is a condo in Hawaii.
I knew what I was saying when I said Hawaii. Can we bring Dolly?
You can bring Dolly. I love that dog. She likes me by now.
She's a friendly dog.
Yeah, she really is.
Okay, so condo in Hawaii.
That's my ultimate goal. And so that's my probably, I think that I put that one in 2025.
Oh, that's like next year, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We're going.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go, LFG.
It'd be so funny if my husband's like, did you just say you're going to Hawaii for Christmas with Kody? I'd be like, yes, I did.
Not with me. You're taking your family. I said 4. There was not 5 in that number.
I know, but now I'm just going with you.
Oh, now it's just you? Forget the family?
You said condo in Hawaii, and I was like, I'm coming.
You can use it when I'm not there.
Perfect. Just you got.
Yeah,
that was on record. So, my uncle, they actually bought a house in Hawaii, and they live there part time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? He's the same age as me.
Yeah. I know. Isn't that fun when you actually look at like where people are at? But you can't compare yourself to others either. You use it as motivation.
Yeah.
Use that as motivation.
I see it as if it's possible for them, it's possible for me.
Exactly.
And even like my cousins that's the same age as me, like I look at like how well he's done with his life as far as wealth is concerned. And there was a time in my life where I was like, how did that kid figure it out? And we're a few days apart. And now I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, you just got to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. And like I've learned a lot even from my own brother. He's independently wealthy as well. But having that, what he's done in his entrepreneurship, he's got that grit and grind. And I feel like there can be another way to do it, to get there. And I really feel like you can do that in an aspect of having that happiness and that freedom versus the true, like today, like I feel like the true entrepreneur grind is you have no life, you have no family, you are working 24/7. That's it. That shouldn't have to be.
No, and I love that this mindset has shifted.
Right. Yeah. Like you can still attain those goals without having to lose yourself.
You can still sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I have to remind myself too, like I'll have time to do these things with my kids.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll start feeling like if I could just work more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what would I be doing?
Your business is going to be able to go, but you'll never be able to replace time with your kids.
Yeah. And sadly, as they get older, you really start feeling that.
Yeah. And the less they want to be with you until they actually turn 20 in their late 20s when they're like, oh, I actually like mom.
I don't know. They both still really seem to like my wallet. Now my kids are actually pretty good. I love them.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Okay. So after you have the condo in Hawaii, like, is that as far as it goes?
I think it's world travel is coupled with that. There's a lot of continents and countries that I was just texting one of my friends yesterday that my 2025 travel goals would be Greece, French Polynesia, England, Germany, Spain. I want to do Chile.
What? Chile. I like Chile better.
I want to do some Asian countries as well, but I would love to go do like kind of that side of the Europe where, Dubai and some of those other countries as well, or to kind of experience all of those countries while we still can.
Yeah, while we still can. We're just going to slide over that.
We can go right over it.
Goodbye. There it goes. The other day I was like, this thought popped in my head and I was like, I hope I don't die before I get to see the Northern Lights in person.
Right.
And I was like, that was an interesting thought, you know?
Put it on the dream board.
Yeah. I didn't mean it like I would never be able to go because I could make it happen now. But it was just like something like I was like, oh, I really like maybe like
right.
And I was just part of my soul was like, you really want to see these, you gotta go see these.
Right. Yeah. Like and that's where the dream bigger. Like you may have a dream. Okay. Dream bigger.
Yeah. 10x it.
10x. We're not that type of podcast.
Let's fucking go. Listen, if you just get up every day and you get in that cold plunge and you do the sauna and 400 push-ups and you're eating 250 grams of protein, you too can look like me. Did I get it?
I think you did. Yeah. This podcast is going to explode your whole business.
I know. I figured out the secret to life.
Exactly.
Cold plunge sauna.
Cold plunge sauna.
Protein.
Yeah.
There's quite a few accounts out there that are like that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I killed it for you. Okay, so if we go back to kind of what you're saying, so one of your goals is to get out of debt. Is it just because like you don't want to carry any debt, or do you feel like?
I think I want to change what debt I have. So I want my debt to be able to be making more money and freeing up capital versus taking capital.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of mindset work around debt because it's not a big deal.
No.
You know?
Yeah. It's not a huge deal because business debt you can grow a business even on business debt. But
when you start getting into like real estate flipping and how like you can take the equity out of your house and then buy another house and another house and another house, it's like you're going to constantly be in air quote debt.
Right. So, and that's where it comes down to understanding money. And instead of using money to work against you, which is what the system is currently, and I say the system it's twofold, but what the system is published to do to you and I is to work against us.
Mm-hmm.
But every published idea always has the other side as well. So the idea that money and compounding interest doesn't have to work against us. And just like you said, taking equity out on a home to buy another and buy another and buy another, it's that compound effect that you can take on life on so many different aspects within money.
Yeah. Dude, there's so many cool things you can do with, again, let's just air quote it, debt, right?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why it's become so bad. I know in childhood, I constantly heard like my mom would say, well, if they were more careful with their money and they acted like, well, when they bought their house, they were like, we sat up all night and we were sick because we were going to owe, it was like $80,000.
Right.
They bought a house for $80,000 and they were sick.
You can't even buy a double wide for $80,000.
You can't buy a plot of land for $80,000. There's a plot of land on my street and it's more than what I paid for my first house.
It's crazy.
Yeah. She was like, we just sat up when we were sick. I was like, that is odd.
Right.
You know?
And even if you look at the value of the dollar as well, like even still probably back then to what today is probably still like only like $180,000.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is still a steal.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And we were
at a one before that, and it's still a great deal.
I grew up on the bench in Utah County too. That was a bougie area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a still. Yeah. But you know, it's kind of those feelings though of like, I'm buying this house, I'm in debt. Like, and I think I wish everyone says this though. I wish I would have had this mindset, 10, 20 years ago. My life would look a lot different, but it took me a while to realize there was a different way to look at things. Right.
And you can't look at the past because the past is past. You learn from the past. So you don't dwell on the past, you learn from the past and you move forward.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, can't disagree with me.
I'm like, so anyways, what do you feel like you've had to shift about your mindset the most? Like, is there something that stands out where you're like, I had to make this shift in order to move forward?
I think it would come down to a lot of it over the past probably couple years was a lot of the health aspect. I've had a lot of probably, I mean, if you want to call them inner demons, but the inner demons of body image and dealing with a lot of that to where I had a lot of anxiety, I had a lot of that, and finding the right therapist, the right the right tools. I don't call it help, the right tools in your tool shed to really perform at your greatest. And so coming down to it is breaking your inner self and breaking that person apart to really put the pieces back together correctly.
Did you have a moment where you were like, I call it the fuck it moment? A lot of people talk about it, where you're like, fuck this, I'm done. We're doing something different. Or were you just like sick of mine? I get sick of my own behavior. And I realize that if I'm talking about something repetitive to people, like I should fucking do something about it.
I want to say, trying to think. Most recently, because I get them a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. I got to do this. But the most pivotal moment was I spent some time most recently. And so a lot of this mindset change has probably been more recent, but the bulk of it was probably done more over the past 3-4 years.
Yeah.
But the aha moment of, okay, forget that, we're moving forward, was probably when I was in Hawaii.
I had no idea this was going to be a thing today. You know what's funny too is it's my mother-in-law's birthday, and I text her and she's in Hawaii for her birthday.
Oh yeah. All right.
I'm just saying synchronicities.
So apparently the name of this podcast is Hawaii. Hawaii. But it was in February this past year.
That's my birthday month. Okay, anyway, sorry.
I was in Hawaii. And spending, there was a few moments of, there was a hike and there was some moments on the beach of, okay, this is where this feeling right here is what I need to capture. And understanding that like the stresses of whatever's out there needs to go away. Because this feeling right here of that piece of that, of realizing, all right, this is how I want to feel, and then connecting, and then taking that, and then connecting the dots outside of there okay, what causes this, what causes that, what causes the stress, and understanding a lot of it had to do with financial, goal or financial problems, or if you want to call them problems, or just the dots had to deal with finances.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where, where that aha or that oh shit moment kind of came in line, and making that decision to move forward and make those changes.
That's cool. I like that because it's almost opposite of what a lot of people experience, or they're like, if their low is low and they're like, fuck this.
Yeah. So it was I want to feel that. And so that's what I'm going forward.
Yeah, I love that. You know what I loved about honestly, it's been running. And I know because I've gone to the gym consistently. I was working with a health coach, and then she discouraged me from running.
Right.
Which is funny because normally I'd be like, okay, you're probably right, And I was like, fuck this, I got to do this.
Yeah.
But since I started doing that, and I realized I feel so good. I can, and I've always been able to do things. I've never been super hindered. I could always hike, I could ride a bike if I needed to, but now I'm I can fucking go.
Right.
And that to me is inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I could probably run that. But so I kind of get what you're saying.
A half marathon. I'm like, no, Sam, no.
I'm working my way up there.
I know. We'll do one, but we don't need to do one next month.
No, not next month.
It's basically next month.
I was trying to sign us up for a half marathon earlier. It was in November.
Beginning of November, and it's cold here in November.
So you'd have September, October to double your mileage.
It doesn't happen like that.
I know. I'm going to have to start working. It was cold this morning. It was 66.
No, we're going to have to start running later.
Well, I don't know. I just might wear a little sweater.
I think we're fine for another month or so. But
yeah,
come October.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we don't want to get eaten by anything.
I know. That's when all the mountain lions come off the mountains. And
well, when you said that this morning, I was like, great, Kody.
Now we're going to get eaten by a mountain lion.
I know. It's actually nice to have you run with me because I do feel a little more secure.
Yeah.
And I would definitely be starting later because I wouldn't be comfortable running in the dark that long alone.
I would be the same, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I'm a dude, but I'm still I don't trust people. Even in this small town, I don't trust people.
Yeah. I try and stay alert while I run, and I feel like having the dog helps, but you're just out there vulnerable. You just have to trust that everything's going to be fine.
Why is it though that like this morning, the people on your side of town were all frowns, and then the people, I guess that's my side of town too.
I was like, the side of town?
But that side of town, we were running because we literally 10K ran across town.
We did, yeah. We made a loop.
Yeah, we made a full loop.
Yeah.
Well, and there was more of a lasso.
Yeah, it was a lasso. You're right.
There was a little end piece right there.
We had to take 2 cars and do a drop off.
Yeah.
God, that's impressive. We're like impressive. Then we went to Dutch Bros.
We had to reward ourselves.
I reward myself all the time.
Right. You always have to.
Yeah. I'm like, if you finish that, you could go get like a Diet Coke. Like it's dumb things.
Exactly.
You know?
And so but it was interesting though, that once we got over to the other side of town, why were they all full of smiles?
Because it was 7 instead of 6. That's my theory.
Okay, we can go with that, but I think it's people. I don't trust people.
Okay. You know, I was thinking, because someone asked me, I actually had a guy ask me, and he's like, are you really comfortable running that early in the morning? And I was like, thanks, bro. But
now he's tracking where you're running.
I know. I'm like, Jesus. But I thought about it one day while I was running, because you have a lot of thinking time. And I was like, even if something did happen, I still would come out and run.
Yeah.
It's just like if you get in a bad car accident.
Yeah.
That would be odd if I just walked everywhere for the rest of my life. And people are going to die and shit's going to happen. And I don't want to live my life.
No. And that's what I always tell people who really stress about what to come. You can't decide on those God-given choices in life. So you don't stress about it.
And I mean, I would just make a podcast about it and videos.
Exactly. And so that's where like a lot of my pieces come down to it, of like finding that happiness and alleviating those stresses. Some of those stresses were like, well, what about tomorrow? What get rid of the what if.
Yeah.
You know what the goal is. Make changes and choices today to achieve that goal and not worry about what if.
Oh, I fucking love that. This is inspiring. When you leave, I'm going to be sitting over there with my whiteboard and being like, Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah. One of my goals, I want to take my kids through Europe, like for this in a summer.
Don't backpack it.
No, that was a goal when I was like 18.
Yeah. You get rid of that goal. Now change the goal.
Yeah, we're not going to be staying in hostels.
No.
I mean, maybe now. I've heard some of them are really cool, but you have to do some serious research.
Yeah, you gotta stay safe, especially with your kids.
Oh no, yeah, no, fuck no. I would say I would feel safe with my husband, but he would just be like, "Everything's fine, Sam."
What? You get drug out the door?
And he's like, "Did you hear something last night?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I murdered 4 people in self-defense
because you didn't save me."
He would be totally out. He sleeps so good. He said the army taught him how to fall asleep and stay asleep, even not in great sleeping conditions.
Even when the border is getting bombed.
Yeah. And so he was like, "Oh, I just learned this in the army. You just close your eyes and you go to sleep." I'm like, okay.
Can you teach that to the hundreds of thousands of Americans right now prescribed with Ambien?
I sleep like a champ.
I actually do now.
There's periods where I can tell there's something in my life I need to change when I'm waking up at 3 a.m. But for the most part, I'm like, goodbye.
Ever since I started running, I mean, I don't know, how long have we been running? Maybe a month?
You've been running a month with me.
Okay, a month. That I've now, I don't stay up till 3 a.m. It's now 12 o'clock. I'm dead.
It changes your life. Yeah. It just makes you feel fucking unstoppable.
That's right.
Okay. So if your first goal is to achieve debt-free, and you said you put it in your pipeline, what does that mean?
So my pipeline would be in my entrepreneur business with financial services, making sure that I'm contacting the right people with the right cash flow to provide those financial services to those people. That then, again, going back to your spreadsheet idea, knowing what you need to place in that spreadsheet to achieve that goal. So right now I have those individuals in the pipeline to then push through. Once I push it through the pipeline and close them and ultimately write those policies, then get paid out on them and
Okay, so what is it that you do?
So my entrepreneur business is financial services, leveraging different life insurance policies. Don't be scared of the words. It's life insurance policies.
No, I had a client for a while.
Yeah.
This is what she did. And so I had to go down the rabbit hole and I was like, this is legit. It's not.
Yeah.
I think a little bit though, just is we all encountered a skeezy person that was like life insurance. And so I think a lot of people have gotten like, and I'm like, no, it's actually a really good investment.
Yeah. And it's understanding, making sure you're positioning your money in the right place. And the really cool thing that where I've positioned myself is not within one agency. I have availability within hundreds of insurance companies to provide that solution to that individual, whether it be retirement needs, whether it be investment goals, depending on age, depending on 401ks, understanding 401ks are a scam. And Uncle Sam, are you listening?
I was like, Jake, are you listening?
His would be a TSP.
I don't know what that means.
It's a government 401k, but
but we also have one at work.
Yeah.
He has one at work.
Right. Yeah. At his work. And we can dive into that if you want to go on a sidetrack right there. The idea of a 401k and why companies provide them as a retirement strategy is so that one, they can put it on their benefits program, but it also alleviates because they can actually put it within their salary goals. That's X amount goes back into your 401k, but they don't have to pay taxes.
Oh, is that why they like to match?
Yeah.
Oh.
They match it so that they defer those employment taxes to you.
What? That's not where I thought you were going with that.
So the company ends up deferring those taxes within that 401k plan to whenever you draw.
Oh, I don't like that.
And so you're probably no longer working with that company anymore because it's a retirement strategy. But we all know taxes today, your employment tax today is going to be a lot cheaper than it's going to be in 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then as well as how secure your money in there. We all know 2008.
Yeah.
I mean, hundreds of thousands of people lost billions.
Yeah.
Within that, because the 401k rides the stock market, it's not being hedged. It's just riding. Whereas if you make sure you position your money within an indexed account, which is then hedged within a hedge department, within a hedge firm, to make sure that it is not capped, but locked in. So it's locked that it will grow with the stock market, but never lose with the stock market.
Cool. See, I learned a lot from you. I asked Kody random things while we run. Like today, I was like, who pays for graves?
I was like, I think the dead.
I'm like, Kody will know. That's how I feel about you. I'm like,
I
Kody
know it's
will
just
know.
a one-time payment, but I would assume like the guy cutting the grass is paid by our taxes.
That's what you said. I was like, do you have to pay like an HOA on like your funeral plot? And then I was like, but that wouldn't really work because you were dead, right?
Right.
And Cody's like, these are my running questions.
I think you answered your question in your question.
Just so you know, this is what my husband puts up with too. I'll be like, so do you think? And he's like, you're so smart, but your street smarts is hilarious. I'm like, damn it.
And that's why you keep bringing him around.
No, that's me. My street smarts is like out to lunch. I'm like, so like who pay? It's like a Paris Hilton thing. So like who is charging the HOA in the graveyard?
Do we have to pay for air?
Yeah. What kind of air are you guys paying for? What's your air rate? I mean, technically you do pay for air in your house. Warm air, hot air.
Right. The temperature of the air, but you don't pay for the oxygen that comes in.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Oh my gosh. You don't pay your oxygen bill, you die.
Right. People are on the street. Just give me a hit. Just give me a hit.
It becomes a new drug.
Okay, so you have an event coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's October. What's the dates?
October 11th through 13th.
Okay.
So a lot of things we've talked about today inside of the mindset of the entrepreneur, breaking down that inner self to build that person back up is what the idea of this mindset is. And it's a conference in quotation marks, but understanding what you pay for is you're getting room, you're getting board, you're getting food. It's here locally. It's in Zion National Park. at a Hilton resort there. So I've got access to both Hilton resorts up there. So we're going
The one is really bougie and people talk about it all the time. What's that one called? Cliff Rose.
And De Novo is the brand new one. Hotel De Novo, Brandon Hilton. One's a Tapestry and one's a Curio.
Whatever the fuck that means.
It's the higher end brands of Hilton.
I don't know what he just said. I'll put that on my board.
My 9-to-5 job, I do a lot of hotel operations and sales in there. But nonetheless, diverging again.
That's why I think you know about graveyard HOAs.
Maybe there are HOAs. Mm-hmm. Have you bought your plot of land yet?
No.
Do you know when you're dying?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah? When's that date?
Well,
it better be after October 13th because you're helping me with this event.
I had a clear voice in my head that said it was like 2 months ago and it said you're halfway through and I fully believe it.
What? That gets you into
80.
80, yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be... I mean, I've seen life after 80 and
it's fine. My grandma's turning 88.
Certain people, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 50% of the people are like that.
Well, I'm going to be running and I'm going to...
Exactly.
God forbid my husband is dead, but I'm going to be like...
Your sobriety, you're like...
I'm going to be that bad bitch on the... You don't... I can just picture it now. I'll take up smoking.
You're going to be in that scooter down Lead Boulevard?
No. Heavens no. I'm going to be like red lipstick or something pink. I don't know. It's going to be great in a fur coat.
Yeah. So... Understanding the event, it's open to any entrepreneur. Spots are limited. If you are in that spot, understanding that you want to grow your business and really build yourself, that's what this event is for. So it's very strategic as to who it's catered towards. It's not just towards every entrepreneur. It's really catered towards the entrepreneur who wants to build themselves and build something better for themselves. The event is going to be jam-packed full of amazing speakers. I've got fitness.
You've got people. What I love is it's a circle I've never been, I'm going to say, invited into, I guess. But there's like a new circle of people and I'm really excited to meet all these people you have.
So yeah, I've joined forces with my business team. And I say business team because they all are in business for themselves, but we all work together. It's really a collaboration networking style business that in this financial market, and really taking them, and they wanted to put goals forth for certain business partners to achieve certain levels and build their dreams as well. And so they all have to achieve a certain level inside their business to be able to attend this event. And it's going to be, and that they're building that up and providing that. And so whether or not they could still pay for their way as well, but someone's going to pay their way if they achieve it. So they're doing that. But in that, I'm able to gain access to huge people in the industry. So one is Brian Marsh. Brian Marsh is the Senior VP of Nationwide. Have you ever heard of Nationwide?
Nationwide is on your side.
That's
which,
right.
According to my interviewers, is not true. Just kidding.
And
I actually have no idea.
We're not getting paid by Nationwide. But he's our regional VP for this area of the United States. He's been in the industry for years and years. And he has a segment on procrastination.
That's cool.
So he's going to be one of the keynotes. I have a couple others. I have a psychiatrist that's now retired who's coming in from the LA Valley. She's part of my business. And then I have some fitness entrepreneurs coming in from LA.
Yeah, you've got some cool fitness people.
Yeah. So they're coming in and they're going to be doing a lot of the health side, of the health mindset side of things, as well as we're also going to be doing physical activities as well. I mean, we did one.
We're going to show off. We're going to be like, wait, unless we're doing yoga. Are we fucking doing yoga?
No, we're not doing yoga. We're doing movement.
Okay.
Because I don't like the word yoga.
I can't show off with yoga.
Yeah.
I'm like...
No, it's going to be movement, moving your body in ways connecting back to your mind.
What if we all ran a half marathon? No, that was a no, I could tell.
No. We're going to bike a half marathon.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
On those electric bikes?
Exactly.
Those are so nice.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. There's the park entry. There's going to be a hike up into, probably not into the Narrows, but the walk of the Narrows. So just kind of a quick segment of what we'll be doing is a lot of personal growth. And so It's going to be different than any other conference anyone has ever been to.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what you do.
Yeah, so it's going to be really cool.
I've done the Tony Robbins and I walked on fire.
I'm not pulling out coals or fire.
Have you done that before?
No.
It's okay. You don't need to. You can just let me have this one.
Yeah, you can have it all you want.
I got it.
I'm not going to Tony Robbins.
I would never go again because I witnessed some weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do some weird mindset NLP stuff, which I don't.
Yeah.
It's very skeezy.
Yeah.
But walking on fire was pretty cool.
Oh, way to go.
You just have to fucking walk fast enough.
Take the win.
Yeah. That was the whole win of the whole trip in Chicago. I was like, that was fun.
Okay. I hope it was worth your money.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It was a long time ago.
Okay, good.
It was what I needed where I was.
Good. Perfect.
But I'm excited because I think what you're doing is going to be way more impactful than that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is I've been to Tony Robbins and it was just kind of meh.
Because the difference would be is how many people were at your event with Tony Robbins?
It was in the Chicago Bulls arena.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thousands of people. So the connection is really hard to gain in some of those arenas, whereas this event is going to be really geared to the person-to-person engagement.
Yeah.
So it's geared to be small. It's not high-priced to really achieve that goal.
I think it's going to be awesome. So where can people find out about it?
So if you go to entrepreneurmindsetzion.com, you can purchase your tickets. Your ticket does come with room and food and entry to the event.
Yeah. And we're not airing this podcast for a couple of weeks. So if you guys go to the link and it's sold out, it's sold out. So that's cool too.
That's cool too. So if we sell it in a few weeks, let's do it.
Woo! Awesome, Kody. Well, thanks for coming in and spending your time with me today. Thanks for being my running partner.
Yes.
It's changed my running so much.
Good. I'm glad.
And thanks for being my friend. We didn't get into this, but we've gone a lot of places together.
We have. We've gone international.
Yeah, we have. We've done some interesting things.
With interesting people.
Yeah. And you were with me in Phoenix, and I've talked about Phoenix quite a bit. That really I had to do a lot of therapy when I got back from Phoenix because I didn't seeing actual prostitution on the street was just mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
So we were doing some work with anti-human trafficking
group. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun in Belize too.
Yeah. Same group. It was a different experience though, huh?
Mm-hmm. When me and Scott just spent that whole day on the beach. That was my favorite.
Gosh, at Secret Beach. That was so awesome.
I think about it all the time where he was there was these little biting bugs in the water.
Were those bugs or were they jellyfish?
They were some sort of little biting fish.
I don't know. They kept on biting.
And Scott picks one up and he looks at it and he goes, "Please leave me alone. I don't want to hurt you." And then he puts it back in the water and it immediately was biting. He's like, "You fucking..." He's like, "Now you're dead."
He's the most peaceful guy. I love that guy.
I know. Such a great trip. So my point is Cody's an amazing guy.
Thank you.
I've known you for a while. We've done some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Some crazy things, some stuff that changed my mindset for sure. And I'm excited to do the Zinus thing with you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
All right. See you guys next show. Woohoo!